Wait a minute. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania dropped a trailer an hour ago. I had no idea this thing was coming. So, yeah, I'm gonna watch this thing for sure.
I used to ask myself a lot of questions. Scott, you're at ex-con. How are you an Avenger? That doesn't make sense. But everywhere I go, people tell me the same thing.
Thank you, Spider-Man!
People still need help, Dad.
That's why we made this.
Like a satellite for deep space, but quanta.
Wait a minute. You're sending a signal down to the quantum realm.
That's cool.
Turn it off. Now!
Okay, I'll talk about it, but that is cool and both stupid at the same time. Oh, but that is gorgeous, man.
Where are we?
When are you gonna come down? When are you going to land? I should have stayed on the phone. I should have listened to my own mind.
It's a secret universe beneath ours.
Okay, this looks
What
cool.
are you so afraid of?
There's something I never told you.
Ooh, there's I know that.
This place. It isn't what you think.
Oh, I find it inside of my future lies beyond the
I can get you home. And give you more time.
This is
If
so
you help me.
true.
So, what's it gonna be? Ant-Man.
All right, a lot to discuss with this. I don't want to go too long, but Ant-Man's always been so basic. His first film and his second film I liked, but they weren't anything over the top good. They were just solid little entertaining light action comedies. But this is on a whole nother level. Like chef's kiss to Marvel. This actually looks amazing, and I never would have thought that the third and final Ant-Man film would be the Marvel film within the last how many years, excluding Spider-Man No Way Home. That doesn't count. But out of Marvel's films ever since Endgame, this is literally like the only film that has actually legitimately gotten me excited. And the other Ant-Man films were not even that amazing. Like, they were basic and generic and fun, but kind of like, I don't really care to go back and watch them again. I think I've only watched the first Ant-Man once. I like the second one a little better. I've only seen that maybe 3 times. But man, this is just on a whole nother level. Like, this puts a lot of what Marvel's been doing to shame. And like, they could mess it up, but hey, King actually looks menacing and threatening. Like, compared to whatever the heck we got in Loki, that was just embarrassing to Marvel. But this actually looks like a king that is a threat, you know, not just some goofball giving off a very bad acting performance trying to be a Marvel quipster. Like, this is like high stakes. Like, it actually has some weight to it in terms of the franchise. Like, there's a whole nother world in the quantum realm, and Ant-Man, we already kind of got to go to the quantum realm, but it wasn't like that big. It was like we got to see some germs or whatever that were trying to eat them in Ant-Man and the Wasp. But this is like the whole nother level of a brand new world we need to explore, and so many different races and creatures. And it's like, kind of reminds me of Thor Ragnarok, but it's like kind of like Thor Ragnarok and Guardians of the Galaxy, like that kind of film, only we're not going into outer space, we're going just into like this other dimension of our own reality, just smaller, and it's cool, and like it actually like looks like intense. Like it got me like excited. Like I don't know what to say. I was not expecting something extremely great out of this, and that trailer just swept me in. Like Black Panther Wakanda Forever, I'm looking forward to that. I thought the trailer was better than a lot of the trailers as of late, and I think it could be a very solid film. But this is like the peak Marvel, since Endgame, excluding the latest Spider-Man film. But that doesn't count because that's more Sony. I'd say that film was carried on the fact of Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. This, I've gone on way too long, but this just looks great. Like, it's the kind of crowd pleaser that we should honestly get from Marvel more often. It looks like it's actually going to have some weight to it for the franchise going forward. There's actually some interesting, important details in the plot of this movie. And I thought that about Doctor Strange too, but I didn't think the trailers were as good as this, and it didn't look nearly as fun. But this is just out of the park. Like, I would not be surprised if the third Ant-Man film became one of Marvel's biggest successes. Like, that's asking a lot, because it's still Ant-Man. But man, they really decided to go all in with Ant-Man and say he's not just a second or maybe like a third tier, like a C tier character. We are going to make this film just as important as Spider-Man No Way Home, Multiverse of Madness. This is going to be almost as important as like Ragnarok and Civil War and Infinity War. Like, this is like almost game changing because the main antagonist is Kang the Conqueror, who is literally going to be the big bad in the new Avengers film. Like, this is like, he's the new Thanos, and if this movie can pull it off, like, this could be setting him up to be a very strong antagonist. Loki did not do that. Loki made Kang look like a fool. This, as of now, hopefully that is not misleading, as of now, this makes Kang look like he is going to be the next Thanos. Maybe not quite as good, but at least there's a possibility. And honestly, Ant-Man could die in this movie. They could all die. What if that's like the plot twist? Is like, Ant-Man's gonna go out with a bang. We're gonna set Kang up, Kang the Conqueror up as a major threat. He is just going to kill Kang, or not, sorry. Kang is going to kill Scott Lang and his family and all of them. And that's gonna set him up as a big threat, like high stakes for everyone. Maybe that won't happen, but I have a feeling, I have a very strong feeling that this could be a game changer. Hopefully they're actually like starting to do what they should have been doing in phase 4, but phase 5 might be off to a bang with this one. This one looks like a banger. And what comes after it? Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Like, that is not a bad way to start off phase 5. And after what was a tragic phase 4, this could really be a big step forward, especially since phase 4 is ending with Black Panther 2, which I think could be a very solid film. So that's my thoughts on this trailer. And I thank you all for hanging with me this long. This was a long video. I just rambled on about how excited I am for the next Ant-Man movie. And I have a cousin. He is probably going to really be excited for this because his two favorite films, or at least two of his favorite films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, are the two Ant-Man films. And that's even with them being the generic, just fun comedy films that they were. I feel like this is like gonna take it to a whole new level. It does seem to be leaning less on the comedy and more on the world building and high stakes end of it. And it's cool because Scott Lang's daughter is now like a teenager, like almost grown up, because of what happened with the blip and everything. And that's really cool. I can't wait to see how they do that father-daughter dynamic, because I loved it when she was like a little kid, and now she's like almost an adult. And they can do a lot, especially on the emotional end of like him not being able to be there for his daughter for 5 years and how that affected her. One complaint before I end this video, the way they get there is kind of the typical lazy Marvel storytelling. Kind of like in Spider-Man No Way Home, where you just have these people, they don't think about what they do before they do it. Just like Doctor Strange casting the spell of like making everybody forget Peter Parker is Spider-Man in No Way Home, and then that goes south because he didn't explain to Peter Parker what was going on. Peter didn't explain to him the whole situation. He didn't think to ask Peter. And so it kind of is like the same here with Scott Lang's daughter, and she's like, I made this thing where we can like send signals to the quantum realm, and I'm not going to think about the repercussions or what might happen. Scott Lang doesn't really seem to be too bothered about it either, but he probably doesn't know the implications. And then, what's her name? Michelle Pfeiffer's character is like, oh wait, no, don't do that, and then she does it, and they get sucked up. It's like, these people just aren't very smart. Like, they just do things and they don't think about it. And like, at this point in time, you think people would be a little bit more careful with like their magic and their science and not just do random things without calculating the consequences. But that's just kind of something that happens in Marvel movies. If the movie can pull it off and maybe give a better explanation for why she would want to send signals to the quantum realm, like that doesn't really make much sense. Oh, it's a cool science project. Maybe give us a little more context as to why she would really want to go into the quantum realm. Maybe she wants to go back and like, maybe she wants to go into the quantum realm and kind of go back and relive her life. I don't know. She like wants to get her 5 years back or something. Like, give us something that kind of makes sense as to why she's doing this, and then that would give her more motivation to go into it hastily. It would make a little more sense. Still isn't the greatest reason behind it, and you know, Marvel just does that. Marvel is definitely not perfect with their storytelling, but I think they are possibly about to get better, hopefully. So this one, definitely I would say go check it out. I think it comes out February, and I'm glad because that's not too far away actually, and it looks like a fun time. I really hope Marvel doesn't screw this up. I really want this to be good because this looks downright amazing. Ant-Man, of all characters, is the one that I'm most looking forward to. Never thought I would say that, but I did. This has been Luke Filmboss's Marvel Studios Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania trailer reaction. Thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell to help you be on the lookout for more videos from Luke Filmboss.